you doing? Welcome to Facts and Two Cents, my very short Facts and Two Cents today. How are you all doing? Is your head hurting? Is it overwhelming? All the stuff that's been happening in our faves world the last few days. Oh my goodness. It was like 2 days and it was just like, oh my goodness. My head is gonna explode with all this royal news. But I posted some of them in our community page, and I know other podcasts, whether it's Duchess of Success or Royal Sussex, they've all talked about it. But the last couple of days, oh my goodness! Oh yes, just to remind you who we are. We are a channel that's supposed to do Duchess of Sussex, Harry, Meghan, Archie, Baby Lily, Mama Dory, Pula Guy, the chickens. All of us here at Sussex Squad, welcome. I'm so excited to just jump right into it. But since we last chatted, all of this has been happening. Our faves did a TED Talk introduction to one of her besties, Meghan Harriman, and with a brand new hairstyle. Well, she's worn this hairstyle before actually, and looking really calm and relaxed, and you can tell she has been under a tree, which is where we like to think of her. Her hair all nice and straight, and someone said it's like a silk press or something. I don't know hairstyles and stuff like that, but she is looking all bright and sprightly, introducing her friend Meghan Harriman and his TED Talk. And it was just so great to hear Meghan again. We have not seen her really like this since December 6th. And, we saw her a couple of times, going to a restaurant, in and out of a restaurant, and then going to her car from an engagement when they were doing Harvest Home in LA. She was literally just walking to her car, and that's been it. That's all we've been seeing of Meghan. So this is the first time since December 6th that we've actually really seen her do something publicly. And even this was not even say publicly, because it was like, it's a private thing, and it's still actually behind lock and keys. TED Talks, lock and keys. So I don't even think the whole video is available to the public. I think someone just sort of ripped this video off and posted it on Twitter so that we got to hear Meghan introducing Meghan Harriman. And so it just, and of course in Shutter Island, they're like, Meghan's reinvention, all this. I mean, I don't understand why it's like, I've never seen a country in its people or press give someone the amount of power they've given Meghan. The way they talk about this woman is like she's about to take over the world or something. And it's like, people, chill. She's only doing a TED Talk for her friend Meghan. That's all it is. It is no deeper than that. But to hear them explain it, Meghan is about to revolutionize the world and take over the world because of her domination, dominating personality, and it's just like, you're giving me a headache. It's a 1.5, not even 1.5, it's probably like a 1-minute clip of introducing her friend at his TED Talk. That's all it is. It wasn't all that deep. I mean, one Rupert Murdoch tabloid even go on to say like, oh, people were thinking that Meghan did something to her face, like she had like plastic surgery or something. And I'm like, yeah, it's called makeup. You may have heard of it. It's that thing where you can put it on and it sort of transforms and gives you definition on your face that otherwise may not, be visible if you don't have it on. I mean, whenever you don't see Meghan's freckles, she's wearing makeup. Because a lot of times I think it throws people off because she hardly wears a lot of makeup because you see all her freckles. So in this video, she's not wearing, you can't see her freckles. So she's wearing a lot of makeup for camera, I guess. And so they're like, oh, Meghan has a new face. Like, yeah, it's called makeup. It does something different to your face a little bit, But anyways, and then so that happened. And then night before last night, whatever it was, Meghan and Harry were at the Lakers games. I don't even know what the score is. I haven't been keeping up with basketball. I think they went into overtime, and it was a very exciting game. Apparently, I don't know what the score is. I'm assuming they left smiling, I guess. So I'm assuming LA won. Don't ask. I don't know what the score was. And I wasn't paying attention. Anyway, so they were having a great time, and of course, apparently, Meghan and Harry missed the kiss cam. It was a little bit. He tried to go in for a kiss. She was laughing, and her head was the other way, and they completely blew the kiss cam. So whatever. It was like Harry was like, ooh. we blew the kiss cam. But anyway, they are had a great time, and apparently it's was their I should have brought in that picture too. Their staff was, it was a staff event, so it was a work event where they brought their staff to the game. And so it's so funny because the kiss cam thing was awkward and Meghan didn't do it. But it was just like, when I thought about it, it was like, oh, wait, there could be a reason for that as well. They're at work, even though they were at the game, they had their staff there and their whole team there. And you don't, you want to keep it professional. You want to, even though it's a kiss cam, and so whatever reason they missed, it was just cute. I mean, the whole little video, it was like less than 2 seconds, 3 seconds, whatever it is. It was just cute. And there are other pictures of Harry and Meghan kind of cuddle up to each other talking, and so it was all, I posted a few pictures in our community page, and I'm sure you've seen them over social media or wherever. Just about everybody is covering it. In the UK, obviously they go crazy, and in the US, of course, in the UK they're like, how dare they go to a basketball game? How dare they not be in the UK doing their duties? Why is William has to go to Anzac Day and they are at a basketball game laughing and doing kiss cam? How dare they, the heathens of Montecito? But in just a nastier UK version of that. Meanwhile, our favor having a good time with their staff and just enjoying a day and night out, supporting the Lakers. So that's happening there. They're doing great. And then yesterday, all this stuff, Harry decided to it's like, Harry, I am burning this thing down. I am opening up the can of worms. I am shredding every. Harry just went in on this. As we know, Harry is suing the Sun. He's suing Rupert Murdoch and the Sun, and and also News of the World. Murdoch owns all of those things, and so of course, a hearing yesterday. Oh, that hearing was a doozy, man. I was on an assignment. I was shooting a music video yesterday. And so in the between trying to read it, and it was just like, oh my gosh, Harry has ripped off the bandage, swung open the palace door, ripped down the curtains, the black curtains that they've been hiding behind, and those skeletons are hidden behind in the royal family. He has just ripped that to shreds. And he's like, look, my brother is just he took hush money. He took hush money from Rupert Murdoch, a big lump of hush money too, in 2020. And then they tried to block me from, going after Murdoch. And I mean, oh my goodness, all the things that came out of that, I was just like, and so that's why I was like, do you think Harry is still going to that coronation? Are they gonna take back that invitation? Because I'm like, I can't imagine what that would feel like. All I gotta say, Harry, don't eat anything. Don't drink from them. Don't eat anything. I mean, just eat at home. Don't even drink water. That's all I'm going to say on that one. Because, Harry is just like, I am done. We are going to get this exposed. And the thing about it, even though this is embarrassing for the royal family, in spite of all this, Harry is doing them a favor. By opening up the can of worms and talking about it, it is taking away the power from the newspapers, because this is no longer a secret, so they don't have that power over the royal family. But of course, they're not going to look at it like that. They're just going to look at it as like, how dare Harry spill our secret? They don't understand right now that Harry just took the power away from the Sun. They don't have those things over William and Charles anymore, because Harry just took that away. And so, of course, they just look at it as, how dare Harry tell the world that I took hush money from Rupert Murdoch? How dare Harry tell the world I took, a massive payday and then agreed to keep it all a secret, even though Rupert Murdoch is there hacking other people and blagging other people. I'm going to keep a secret because I don't want Rupert Murdoch to be telling my secrets. I don't want, whatever it is Rupert Murdoch and his ilks have on them, they don't want that. So he took that payment, all the while even in Spare, Harry talked about, when he went back and he was talking with Charles and William, and they didn't even ask about Meghan. They only wanted to ask him about the court case, and Charles was like, oh no, that's a suicide mission. And Harry's like, well, you sued. Why shouldn't I? Why should I have to put up with them invading my life and trying to destroy my life and my family and all of those things? And now we know, one of the big reasons why. I mean, Prince William got a big payoff in 2020. We remember 2020. Meghan was suing the Mail on Sunday, and William and his Jason Knopf and them colluded with the Mail on Sunday to get to help them win the case against Meghan. In the same time, William is taking a big payoff from a tabloid, hush money from a tabloid. I mean, the absolute hypocrisy of this is just unbelievable. And what did William do with all that money that he got, that hush money he got from Rupert Murdoch? Did he donate that to charity? Did it? I mean, it is unbelievable. No, I mean, I'm not shocked that I didn't know about it, but am I shocked that it happened? Absolutely not. I'm not shocked at all. I am totally not shocked that's what William does, because we've seen William in action. We've seen what he did, how he used Jason Knopf to go, give it to, and it's so funny. The other day we were talking about Valentine Lowe being the ones that, when that supposed letter came out about Meghan writing a letter to Charles. One of the people, the most vocal, would have been Valentine Lowe. Who is Valentine Lowe? Well, Valentine Lowe works for the Times. Guess who owns the Times? Rupert Murdoch. Another person that was vocal about it, Emily Andrews. Well, guess what? Emily Andrews was a reporter for the Sun. And one of the people, when that guy, got Meghan's Social Security, one of the people that was accused of writing an article based on that information that was blagged was Emily Andrews. She claimed up and down that she was not, that she did nothing wrong, that she did not take any information from this investigator who illegally invaded Meghan's privacy. But Emily Andrews, remember, Emily Andrews was the one that was like, no, this came from Sussex Camp and all of that stuff. Well, Emily Andrews was working for Rupert Murdoch at the Sun at the time. And so it wasn't surprising to see those two being of two of the three most vocal, worked for Rupert Murdoch, or at least in Emily Andrews' case, worked for Rupert Murdoch. And even, every now and then you'll see her pop up on Rupert Murdoch's, Talk TV, So, it's and it's funny, ever since this dropped yesterday, I went and checked. Emily Andrews has been silent. Valentine Lowe has been silent, when all of this came out yesterday. So it just is very, very sick. It is incredibly sick. And of course, Rupert Murdoch's like, and Harry also disclosed that there was a secret contract, first of all, approved by the Queen. When, they couldn't, they could not sue the Sun. And, because they were afraid that if they sued the Sun, because of what happened before when all that stuff, when, Prince Charles then and Camilla's private phone call was leaked to the Sun, they didn't want a repeat of that. They didn't want anyone suing the Sun because they were trying to protect the monarchy from that whole debacle. And we saw, if you were paying attention to the royals back then, I wasn't, but if you were paying attention, that whole debacle, what it did to the monarchy. The monarchy was trying to, we don't want a repeat of this, so don't sue the Sun. And they were actively, dissuading Harry, no matter all the stuff they did to Harry. Harry couldn't sue. That was first done by the Queen. And then, whatever they did afterwards, the Queen was like, okay, I'm suing you. And, she tried to do it, and Charles got in the way of her taking action against the Sun for other stuff. And Charles was like, no, he got in the way, blocked the Queen. Because why? Charles wanted to keep the Sun on side. And we've talked on numerous occasion about Charles's relationship with the Sun. I mean, we saw very, very pointedly especially when they denied Prince Harry that wreath, to lay that wreath at the cenotaph. Who did they have lay a wreath? They had Arthur Edwards from the Sun lay a wreath. They denied Prince Harry, a war veteran who served 2 tours of duty in Afghanistan. They denied his wreath, and they had Arthur Edwards, who there are videos of him and Camilla dancing together. They had him lay a wreath. We saw the Sun give big King Charles, well, then Prince Charles, this huge 70th birthday cake, and they had a party for him. We saw, like, when the Queen passed away, one of the first people to be with King Charles when he became king was the editor of the Sun. She even bragged about it. And so when I do a full episode and I go through all of this stuff, in depth, I'll bring that on. But here's her and King Charles. So when Harry talked about, them basically blocking the Queen's attempt to go sue the Sun because he wanted to keep the Sun on side for when him and Camilla ascend to the throne, which we're seeing happening now. They want to be able to get good publicity. So it didn't matter that they were destroying Harry's life. It didn't matter that they were destroying Meghan's life. It didn't matter that they were targeting them and harassing them and bullying them. Oh no, they had to keep the Sun on side because Charles needed them on his side. He needed them on his side. He needed to clean up Camilla's image so that people would accept her as Queen Camilla. It didn't matter how much it was destroying his son. Charles even kicked the Queen idea to the side so he can get what he wanted. And people, and we've talked about this before, about the fact that King Charles did not respect the Queen. We did an episode about that. About his behavior towards the Queen. He had no respect for his mother. No matter how many times, you'd seen the press like, oh, mama, and all this nonsense. He did not respect her. At the, coming to the end there, even Harry talked about in his book about, the fly and the wasp and the bee, that they used to behave like they were the monarch because all the decisions were theirs. And they basically just tell the Queen what she needed to do. I.e. when Harry, tried to go and see when the Queen invited Harry and Meghan when they came back from Canada, and, they were on their way, and, they were gonna go and spend the night at Balmoral Sandringham to be with her. And basically, the bee was like, no, you're busy. And so they canceled Harry and Meghan and basically told the Queen, no, you're busy. And she couldn't do anything about it. She could not do anything about it. Why? Because Edward Young was a person that King Charles, they fired Sir, William Guyte or whatever his first name is. They fired him, and Charles instilled Edward Young into that position. And so whatever Charles said went. The Queen just had to go along with it, which begs the question, did the Queen really write that letter saying that she wanted Camilla to be Queen Consort? I still have questions about that. Maybe it's the conspiracy theorist in me, but something tells me that I don't know that the Queen did that. So it's All this stuff is happening, you know. And I mean, Harry, and again, I'll do in depth into this. This is a very short podcast, but just, lightly going over this. But all of this stuff was happening yesterday. But I'm telling you, Harry is done. They didn't want that the can of worms open. Well, they can't put it back now. That can is open. And it's funny seeing little clips of all, because I was thinking like, oh, the British press are not gonna, they don't want to cover this because again, it puts William, Charles, and all of them in a very bad light. And of course, the son is like, oh, no, we don't have a contract. We don't have this contract with the palace. Yeah, like they're going to tell us that, oh, yeah, we do, Yes, I know we said we didn't before, but we do. You expect them to tell you the truth? Of course, the palace isn't saying anything. They are like, crickets. But again, they shouldn't be allowed to not say anything. They are publicly funded. It's a public institution. They should be able, and the UK people should be able to demand that they know about this. The fact that, again, William taking hush money, like in the same time, he is trying to deny Meghan suing the Daily Mail for invading her the Mail on Sunday for invading her privacy by by publishing her letter. Also trying to deny Harry suing the Mail on Sunday, the Mirror, and the Sun because of the same thing. Meanwhile, William is taking hush money from the tabloids. And I mean, how can you as a country really trust this man? He can be bought. The same thing with Charles. They both can be bought. I mean, we saw Charles taking money from the Bin Laden family, from all those, rich Saudi Arabians, and I mean, Middle East kingdoms. I mean, the Queen, all of these horses and jewelry and all that, they could all be bought. You have a monarchy of people that you give them enough money, you can buy them. Whether it's their silence, their loyalty, whatever, you can buy them because the evidence is there. I've said it over and over. I'm like, if you can accept Charles and all the crooked things that he has done, if you can accept him as your king, then Andrew should be no problem for you. So anyways, my question is, since Harry is burning it all down, is he still invited to the ConAnation? All of a sudden, the ConAnation is like very interesting to me now. Like, what would that look like when Harry walks in there? Oh boy. And the funny thing is, to see some of the reporters who have been attacking Harry all of a sudden are very tame or silent. It's like all of a sudden William is not looking good. But we shall see. Maybe they're just thinking of horrible things that they can, think about Harry or write about Harry. Again, they're going to come at Harry with everything. Well, anything that we, that is in Harry's past that we didn't know before, if just in case it wasn't out there in the open, they're going to come at him. And they're going to, they had to know this was coming out. Apparently they didn't know what was in the court case, but I'm not surprised that whole Meghan's supposedly leaking a letter from Meghan, although very questionable as to what the real contents of that letter was. I'm not surprised, so expect other stuff to come out to try to distract from this, but this is big news. It's so big that the news outlets can't ignore it. Every single one of them are covering it, Some it's on the front page, some it's not, but they're all covering it. It is so big, they can't ignore it. So, look, if you're going to be looking at Harry and Meghan, then you know what? You got to look at this because this is what they're about. Kudos to Harry. Please pray for him on this. And again, when I have a little more time, I'm going to go through each and every one of these in depth, but especially that Charles undermining the Queen, plan to sue the son. And it's just like, again, all of those people like, oh no, Harry doesn't respect the Queen. Yeah, neither did her son. Harry respects the Queen. He absolutely has respect for the Queen. Charles never did. So that's what they need to focus on. Anyway, moving on from that. Oh yeah, there's also this one. Princess Eugenie and Piers Morgan. They all had dinner, lunch, supper, whatever it is they had in the UK. But apparently Eugenie and Beatrice, did I say Eugenie? No, this is Beatrice. I'm sorry. This is Princess Beatrice. apparently there's a picture of Eugenia. They claim she was at the pub that they were all at here, but there was only that picture of her walking, I guess, to the pub, but there was no picture of her with any of these people. So I'm gonna give, even though I'm a little like Eugenia, but I'm gonna give her a little bit of a pass because there's no evidence to prove that she was with them, whether she was with Beatrice and she left before they all had their own whole big shindig, whatever they did at the pub. There is no evidence of her being a part of any of this. So I'm just gonna put that on the side for a second. But this is Beatrice hanging out with a whole group of them, including P.S. Morgan and his wife, his crazy wife, who also joins him in attacking Meghan. And this is Beatrice on the left there hugging P.S. Morgan. And it's just like, I saw this and I was just like, my faith in any, if I, because I always like, I know that the York girls are sort of out on the outskirts of things. So I always gave them a pass, especially Eugenia. I knew she was close to Harry or is close to Harry and Meghan. I mean, they allowed her and her husband to stay at their home and stuff. But Beatrice never really seemed that close to them. So she was always, but it's like, but to see this, to see her hugging this man who has abused her cousin, Harry, for all these years, abused Harry's wife, even throughout her pregnancy, to see her hugging Piers Morgan, it was just the most sickening thing I've seen in a long time. And I'm telling you, I've always heard about how brutal the Windsors are, man. I'm like, eek, they need to up their game to get to cesspool, because this is just gross beyond words. And it just, P.S. Morgan did say when that whole thing, when Harry and Meghan left and all of that stuff, and the Oprah Winfrey interview, they had, he said somebody in the royal family called to thank him for, standing up for the royal family. People had said that it was Fergie, whatever, but he is very close to the Yorks. And you could see how close he is. So when Piers Morgan is going off in the Sussexes, he definitely has their approval, So it just, I just like, And so people are still like, why did Harry and Meghan leave and all of that? I mean, would you really want to be in a family like this? Knowing that they are friends with the people who are abusing you? And it's not like they're hiding. She's not hiding. This is out in the open. This is out in the public. Do people even today, I saw a tweet from Piers Morgan, obviously attacking Harry, attacking the sausages, and there is Beatrice 2 days ago hugging him, and so it just, I'm like, Harry, you sure you sure that you want to be, having any relationship with these people? You sure there's hope that they're going to change or anything? Because I don't see it. I don't see it for them. And I don't see it for a relationship with Harry and them. Because, eeks, how do you explain this? It's unbelievable to see this. But I'm telling you, I am just... I don't know how you can, you can really believe that the royal family is about unity and they're supposed to bring unity to the country and be the best version of of your country when this is what you see, and then, it was like, how come the royal family hadn't said anything when, Jeremy Clarkson attacked Meghan and all of it? I mean, this is the reason. This is the reason. Camilla, what is Camilla? It's Beatrice and her mother, or William taking hush money or whatever it is. I mean, these people are so deep in, with the press. I mean, one of the big things that the big things that you could tell that Beatrice and Eugenia, I would think, have contracts with the press. And again, I have no evidence of this, but if you want to have a little bit of inkling, is the fact that none of them go after her husband. None of them go after Eugenie's husband. and none of them go after Eugenie's husband, except that one time. And I think that was like, someone mentioned that was like a warning shot to Eugenie when they caught her husband on a boat in Italy, hanging out with some topless models, I guess, on a boat, and they weren't doing anything, but that was like front page news. And I think that was like a warning shot to Eugenie. Don't mess with us. We'll take you and your husband out. And you always see Beatrice, there's always pop pictures of Beatrice all around all of a sudden. Those are some really good inklings when you have contracts with tabloids, because you have to do those pop walks, because they have to feed their families. And so it's just very, very interesting to see the dynamics of the relationship with Eugenie and Beatrice. And again, I'm gonna put Eugenie aside for a minute, because again, I have no evidence that she was any part of any of this other than a picture of her walking outside. And I don't trust the tabloids. I don't trust any of them. They could have a picture there of her and claim, because they would want nothing more than to destroy her relationship with the Sussexes. So unless I see Eugenie a part of this, I'm gonna just sort of put a little asterisk on that and put that aside for a little bit. But Beatrice, man, girl, this is the depths. You have sunk you are in the pits at the moment. So but anyway, that's all I got. I am running off on an assignment, and thank you guys so much. I don't even have my credits at the moment. This is how much I'm rushed today. But thank you so much to our awesome moderators, Church Nelly, Cookies and Cream, Karen M., Lydia Washington. Thank you guys so much for all that you've done. This is just a video. It's not gonna be a live today, but I am so grateful for everything that you've done for the channel. So thank you guys so much. Thank you to all of our wonderful 2 Cents Crew members who support the channel monthly, and also to our awesome Gold Star supporters who usually support in the chat, whether it's super thanks, super stickers, super chat, and all of that, or donation or merchandise. Thank you all so much for your incredible support for our channel. So thank you guys so much. If you have not subscribed to our channel, go ahead and do so. It's right at the bottom of this video, and click the notification bell so that you know when we drop a video. And please like the video, share the video, help us build our channel. And if you're able, please join the channel as well. So thank you guys so much. I love you all, and I will see you next time on a longer on a longer podcast when I don't have a quick assignment. So talk to you later. Love you all. Have a fantastic Wednesday. Bye.